What is up, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it has been almost a whole year since I've posted. My apologies, my fault. But I think it's important to note that a lot of changes have happened in the past year. If you guys don't know, if you guys are, still on YouTube and not on any of my other socials, I'm now an official caster for Pokemon. I just finished up my first whole season on the mic, on the desk. And it was magical. I honestly just loved every second of it. I'm super excited to see how NAIC and Worlds go. Won't be on the desk for NAIC, which is why we are going to be doing a little tier list just to try and get myself back into the YouTube content. And yeah, I'm super excited to make this one. I think NAIC coming up, of course, it feels like the grand finale of the season, and of course it is. But it is our first tournament in Destined Rivals format. So there's a ton of, honestly, new decks that we kind of have to talk about. One deck probably better than some of the others, but regardless, we're going to do a little tier list, just a nice, chill way to ease ourselves back into YouTube content. And honestly, I'm really excited for the summer. I have tons of content planned, and especially going into next season as well. So first of all, thank you guys so much for stopping back by, coming on over, and let's talk about NAIC. So once again, this is the first tournament in Destined Rivals format, which means nobody really knows what they're doing just yet or how good our cards are. I think we have kind of a preconceived notion from how well certain decks are doing in Japan, but we haven't seen it in North America yet. And NAIC is going to be one of the largest, if not the largest, Pokemon tournament of all time. It always feels like, that goalpost is consistently moving just because every tournament is becoming the largest Pokemon tournament of all time. But regardless, let's go on ahead and start with our most obvious picks. I'm going to be real with you guys for NAIC. Now, I want to say, in no particular order, I want to at least just, get everything kind of placed. But I think overall, Gardevoir is the best deck going into NAIC. When we think about Destined Rivals and we think about certain cards that came out in that set, right? So, Team Rocket's Watchtower actually turns off the entire Noctowl engine. It turns off Quick Search as well. It's such a good card. I think a lot of people are going to be running it. I think a lot of people are going to be just trying to stop Jewel Seeker, Quick Search, all of those cards. And when you think about it, right, Gardevoir is a very strong deck. It has had an amazing kind of second half of the season, of course, piloted by Henry Chow and Brent Tonneson, two players that have taken this deck, mixed it up and around, added things, taken away things, added Zoroark EX and still winning a regional. There's just no doubt about it that Gardevoir just feels like it's unstoppable right now. I think if you've been playing Gardevoir, if you're comfortable with Gardevoir, there's no reason why you shouldn't keep playing it at NAIC. I think it is easily just the best deck right now. We even get a little bit of some extra love here. I don't know how many Gardevoir lists are going to be teching in Shaman with that Flower Veil ability where Pokemon without rule boxes are protected from any bench barrier. But that's a pretty good thing when you're trying to, save your Kirlias. So I am going to say that Gardevoir is #1 pick. For me personally, since I am competing in this tournament, I'm not going to play Gardevoir, but that's because I don't have the necessary reps on the deck to play it at an international. But still, regardless, I do think Gardevoir is a really, really good option going into the tournament. Like I said, it's just way too consistent of results here. So Gardevoir is going to be my #1 pick, but honestly, I'm looking down. We'll just go in order. I think that'll help me a little bit. I'm going to say Raging Bolt Ogerpon's an A tier. Now, for me, it's S tier, right? And honestly, if you know me, you follow me on social media, you guys will know that I've only been playing Raging Bolt since Atlanta? Yeah, since post-rotation, quote-quote, happened. Maybe even a little bit before that. I have only been playing Raging Bolt. The deck is fun. It's become a little bit more versatile with Jewel Seeker and, of course, our single prize baby Raging Bolt that we like to call it. It does have some glaring weaknesses, though. It is a Dragon-type Pokemon, and Clefairy goes in more than one deck. So for me, I think Raging Bolt is still a really great option. But of course, sometimes the deck does struggle after getting unfair stamped, for example. But I do think a lot of decks are actually kind of moving away from unfair stamp and just going for consistency with Secret Box, which is completely fair. But I know for me, if you guys are watching this video, I'll tell you guys right now, I'm going to be playing Raging Bolt next week. Why? Because it's the deck that I've been playing the most. Whenever I'm on Pokemon Desk, whenever I'm on desk, whenever I'm like talking to other players and they're like, I don't know what I should play, Lyric, like blah, blah, blah. I always tell them that a familiar bad matchup is always better than an unfamiliar bad matchup. If your whole group has decided to play like Ethan's Macargo, for example, randomly, and you've been playing Gardevoir for like the past 3 months and everyone's like, no, dude, this is the sauce, I swear. Just play what you know the best and play Gardevoir, because you never know. But still, I do think Raging Bolt is an okay pick. It's not my favorite pick, but it is definitely okay going into this tournament. Let's go on next. I mean, Dragapult, of course, is just... It's Dragapult, you know what I mean? Like, Dragapult has had consistent results. It's a great deck. Draw cards, consistent damage output. I'm interested to see, though, how it's going to play out with Shaman coming into the meta, of course. That bench barrier is going to be, you know, certainly interesting, but it is damage counters at the end of the day. I really want to see how everybody kind of, like, works their way around it, and I'm so sorry. Mochi is, you know, very needy this morning. I'm interested to see if any Team Rockets cards from Destined Rivals is going to be able to help out this deck archetype. It's still very, very good. I know certain players have been trying to kind of like tech with Dragapult, right? So famously, Sebastian Lashman and Karis Jones played a hybrid version of Dragapult, that being Pidgeot Pult, as they called it, at Portland. I know, I think either they both made day 2 or one of them made day 2. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Dragapult, I still think, is regarded as one of the best attackers in the game. I don't think anybody's going to really come at me and say otherwise. It is still just a very, very good card. Recon Directive on Dracloak is an amazing ability. The deck has draw, and I think that's a very beautiful thing. And I think... it just goes in S, you know what I mean? Like, where else does it go when it's had such a strong post-rotation kind of showing? But yeah, that's where I'm thinking so far. All right, Joltic Box. I'm hearing the whispers of Joltic Box, man. I'm hearing the whispers that a lot of people want to play Joltic Box at NAIC. I'm going to put it in A. I still don't think it's as... I'm going to put Mochi down. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm recording. I'm going to put it in A tier only because it's a good idea. I think if you watched Portland, you will know, since I was on the desk, my caster prediction was actually Joltic Box. And it was Joltic Box because of the logic, right? We've really kind of stepped away from a turbo format. We really, really have. And Gardevoir, Dragapult, these decks require a little bit of setup. Or they've cut rare candy, or they, you know, it takes them a turn or two to kind of like get going. So what beats a setup deck? Something that goes faster than you, right? But the problem is, and I think we saw it on stream, is that you're going to commit so much of your jolting charge, right, to Iron Hands to get that set up. The problem is, what are you going to do when it gets completely countered and all that energy is off the field forever? It's a good idea in theory, but for me, I have to see the deck work a little bit differently in order to kind of place it higher than I think it is right now. I think Joltic Box has a terrible Raging Bolt matchup. I really wasn't sure in the beginning of the format when I actually played a Joltic Box player at one of the cups I entered, but Slitherwing carries so much in that matchup, being able to hit Pikachu for weakness and then apply Burn for the knockout. It's that single prize trade. It just feels really, really good. So if you have a consistent way of keeping all of your energy on the board with Joltic Box, I mean, think about it. You play 13 supporters, right? I think it's like 4 Boss, 4 Crispin, 4 Research, something like that. If you have a way of keeping the energy consistent, do it, right? I'm rooting for this deck, really. I mean, if you know me, I'm a Miraidon player from the last 2 years of playing it, and this is like my first year where I haven't really thought about Miraidon at all. I played Miraidon at EUIC as like my farewell tournament, because Lugia is really popular, I think. But it's just, for me, like, Joltic Box will struggle, personally. I really do think it will. It's really hard to say. Dragapult Charizard, I'm gonna actually put this above Raging Bolt in A. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Charizard right now. I think it is it's a good pick going into this tournament. A lot of decks are playing Ogerpon, right? Ogerpon Teal Mask, one of the best draw engines that we actually have in this meta. Now, Dragapult can, of course, hit for 200 and then spread, but why not just have the Charizard at the end that takes care of quite literally everything else on the board? Also has that dark typing, of course, for Gardevoir to take those weakness knockouts here. But also that little Chi-Yu, that little single prize Chi-Yu actually does a ton of damage. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you're comfortable on Dragapult Charizard, I actually don't think it is the worst plan going into NAIC, just because I think Charizard is severely underrated right now. Severely. Dragapult Dusknoir. I don't know. Maybe it's like a little bit above here. For me, like, once we start breaking off into the archetypes, right? Or like we divvy off the path and go into like these specialty versions of Dragapult, that's where you're starting to lose me, right? Because, like, obviously, this, like, straight Dragapult version, right? No Dusknoir, just Dragapult through and through with a Monkey Dory and sending around damage. That is, like, kind of the Dragapult I know and I love. But in theory, right, since we don't have that Psyduck yet that prevents Dusknoir and Dusclops from blowing up, I still think, like, there's some, like, funky math that goes on. At the end of the day, you're still playing Dragapult, right? So Dragapult is still one of just the best attackers you'll ever see. But I don't know. I'm like iffy about this deck. Like, I kind of want to put it in B just because I'm just unfamiliar with the game, right? I think that just like falls on me for not being like super like, oh yeah, it's this, and this. I just think Dragapult Charizard is actually a better play right now. I don't know. It's really weird. And I'm honestly going to say the same thing about Gholdengo Dragapult. Gholdengo had such a good spree at one point, and I think that has been completely thwarted. I think people have been like, oh, okay, Gholdengo is pretty good, and then right after Atlanta, we saw like a massive fall off, I think. I think it was either Atlanta or after Milwaukee. I think Gholdengo was so volatile in a meta, just because it is that 2-prizer, right? But we're not really attacking for, like, it's so hard, right? Because into some big Pokemon, like Raging Bolt, for example, or into Dragapult, like, or into even just Charizard, like, we can easily take those knockouts. It's all about resource management. But, like, the idea of Gholdengo Dragapult's so good, right? To Cloak plus Gholdengo, coin bonus plus Recon Directive. Like, oh my god, it's perfect. Like, you draw so many cards. But it's like, like, sometimes we can be just, like, struggling. I would rather see, like, straight Gholdengo, honestly. Just, like, not paired with Gholdengo Dragapult. But I'm still, like, not a big fan of everything. So I'm gonna put the... I'm gonna put the Dragapult Dusknoir and the Dragapult Gholdengo in B tier, only because I think we're doing too much, right? It's an international. We want to be able to finish our matches. It's really important that we're gonna be able to finish our matches this time. So yeah, there's so many iterations of Dragapult right now. It's like, all right, let's talk. Marnie's Grimmsnarl is definitely, I say, the best deck coming out of Destined Rivals. Shadow Bullet is so good from Grim, right? Grimmsnarl EX, Marnie's Grimmsnarl's EX, I should be very much more formal. That punk up ability where you're able to just accelerate energy to your Marnie's Pokemon, to your Pokemon in general, feels really good when you want to get your Monkey Dory set up and ready to go. I think there is a lot of hype around this deck, but I think the hype is deserved. Monkey Dory Frostlass is a killer combo. It's just too good. It's just too good. My whole thing is I've been trying to get a ton of practice against this deck specifically at locals. And you just have to play very careful. I think if you understand what you're up against, Raging Bull Ogerpon, for example, like I said, I've been playing that deck. I've been really enjoying that deck. As long as you don't bench, like, too many Pokemon with abilities, you should be okay, right? And for me, take this as like my, I guess, like, words of wisdom going into this event. Please play Professor Turo. Please, please. I don't know why so many people hate the card. It has been in my deck since Atlanta. It has been in my deck for so long. It is such a good card. Oh my goodness. Please play Turo. You also play a Pal Pad. You can easily, like, mess up the math here and then just go, like, that kind of old way of doing, just kind of going through that old way of just playing Raging Bull, like, Ogerpon back in the day, right? Where we're just getting the energy and then going for Sada every turn. If there's no damage moving around too much on your side of the board, like, oh, it's great. They can't knock out Owls. You're not giving them the Ogerpon ability too easy, or to knock out Teal Mask Ogerpon too easy. Like, just please play it, Turo. Like, please. I'm begging. It's so good. But anyway, Grimmsnarl Frostlass. Here's my thing. Made a tweet about this. Please, please, please watch your pace of play. I know for me, I am going to be calling out my opponents this time. I'm very nice when I play. Trust me. I'm very nice. I am so nice to all of my opponents. But I have a really, really sinking feeling that a lot of people are going to NAIC with Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX and Frostlass and being like, let me just take my time. There's so much math to do. Please understand your win conditions. Obviously think, right? But the problem is nobody really wants to be tying at all. I know for me, just watch your pace of play. Watch your math. Keep track of your damage counters, please. I'm begging. Oh my goodness. It shouldn't be me or your opponent reminding of damage counters each time, right? It's like, all right, declare attack. Hey, it's checkup. We're taking 2 each, right? And then, you know, you check your opponent's math, and then we go straight into the next turn, right? If you cannot manage a board state, please do not give yourself a risk of getting in trouble or DQ'd or game losses or DPLs. Don't do it. But this deck is very good. And if you have been playing with this deck for a while, I think it's pretty okay. Anyway, so that's my rant on Professor Turo's scenario that had nothing to do with Marnie's Grimmsnarl and Frostlass and Raging Bolt Ogerpon. Let's keep going. Flareon! Alright, the Eevees I think are still pretty good. It still gives us that, like, what's it called? That, how do I say this? It still gives us that flexibility, right? That Tera Box also gives us. I think Eevees are really fun. This is a deck... I think I've said this before publicly, but every time I Jewel Seek with an Eevee deck for some reason, my brain is like, I don't know what to do next. But I think so many of the Eevees are finding their way into Flareon box, Eevee box, right? So in the beginning, it was really just Flareon and Sylveon. Now people are getting results with Umbreon using Counter Catcher on Gardevoir EX, and then using Moon Mirage for the knockout on Gardevoir. Then you also have... what's that Pokemon? Leafeon now that's going to be able to hit for weakness on Marnie's Grimmsnarl. I think this is a great archetype if you know how to play it well. If you know how to play it well, not going to worry about you too much. But once again, Flareon, still very, very good. You have that flexibility. You got Noctowl. You got some great attackers. Burning Charge is just such a great... Burning Charge is such great in attack. Being able to power up your Pokemon, the second coming of Arceus V / Arceus V Star. But still, I run it. Run the Leafeon. Find the space for the Leafeon. Run the Leafeon. You're going to see a lot of Marnie's Grimmsnarl. You're going to see some Charizard in there too. So I think run it. Okay. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be honest with you. I think Charizard's coming back. I don't like that Charizard is coming back. but I think it is coming back. I think it is. I think it's pretty good. I think we talked about this earlier with the Dragapult Charizard placement. I think Chi-Yu is, I think the single prize Chi-Yu is really good. I think it's so good. Being able to quick search counter catcher, power up the Chi-Yu just by going into Infernal Rain again and then getting an Ogerpon. It's so good. Look, I don't know. It's really hard to say where it goes. Like, I feel the same way about, like, both of these decks, right? I wish there was, like, an A.5, like, A-B+ tier, because I would put both of these decks here. Like, if you got the sauce with these decks, I think you're gonna play better than, like, half of your opponents. But the single prize Chi-Yu is definitely changing my mind when it comes to Charizard. I definitely think it's coming back into play, but you have to watch your Rockets Watchtowers, of course. Sorry for the bad joke and the bad pun. Okay, Tera Box. Like I said, I really wish I had like a B+ tier, because I feel like all of these decks are going into A, and I really like it's like anywhere between here and here. I'm like it's honestly it's like both, right? But I feel like I can't put the Eevees higher than, like, I can't do this, right? Or like I can't put like Tera Box above Eevees, so I have to put Tera Box back down here. I think Tera Box is the bottom of the A tier, right? I think Eevees are do I put it here? I'm gonna put it here. I'm very confidently putting it there. I think, God, no, I don't know, Chad. I don't know. This is so hard. And for all of you who might not know, I'm currently recording this in front of my live Twitch audience. Tera Box, I feel like, is a little bit more limited. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the A. Of course, you still have that versatility, the flexibility. I just think the Eevee attackers, quote, quote, are just better. I think, like, Flareon, Sylveon, I think they're just better in general. But I still think Tera Box has the sauce. I can't say that one deck is versatile in one tier and then Tera Box is versatile in another tier, right? It's practically the same thing with different attackers, as long as you know. So, hopefully that is it of my A tier. Oh boy, Ethan. I'm not a fan. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not a fan for this one. I think we have... So, I think Ethan's Typhlosion is a good engine, but I don't think Ethan's Typhlosion is a good main attacker. Single prize attacker that does scale off of the amount of Ethans that you have in your discard is a good idea in theory. I just think this deck can struggle. Like, you do all the things you need to do. You use Bonded by the Journey. You get everything out of the deck. And then, like, what if you get Unfair Stamped? Like, I'm not just, like, a huge fan of this deck just yet. Trust me, if you know anything about me, I'm the Cyndaquil girl that was, like, screaming about how great Cyndaquil was at the beginning of the season at Baltimore. Like, I love this deck. I just think we have a little bit to go. I'm gonna be real with you guys. And Zoroark is not it anymore. Shaman is just, I think it's too good. I think it's too good. I really think it's too good right now. Shaman is just gonna stop a lot of your flame body cannons. It's gonna stop a lot of you know, your like weird 2/2/2 things that you want to do by mixing up attackers. I'm not a big fan of this deck going in. I love this deck, though. I love Trade. Trade's a great ability. But I'm going to have to even put it above Ethan's. That's how much I don't believe in it right now. But this is my, like, non-believer tier list right here. I'm going to, like, switch around my order here. I'm going to put Roaring Moon in B. I think a lot of people have been sleeping on this card and this deck and this archetype right now. It did just win the final special event in Europe, but that's like Journey Together format. I still think being able to just point at something across from you and just go, we'll just explode, is pretty good, right? I think Neutralization Zone is a great card. The problem is I feel like everyone's playing multiple stadiums now, so you really have to save that Neutralization Zone until the bitter end. I think if you've been playing Roaring Moon and you're confident in Roaring Moon, I think it would even be better than, like, Gholdengo Dragapult. Like, I really mean that. If we're expecting a lot of Gardevoir, I think a lot of people will just be like, like, I'll just play Roaring Moon. Count your cards. Once again, pace of play warning, please. I cannot tell you how many times I've played against Ancient Box players and they're, like, counting on their fingers. And I'm like, oh, please, hurry up. Count. But yeah, I think Roaring Moon's a good pick if you know how to play it. You know how to, you know, take all the damage that you need on Dragapult and Gardevoir. And honestly, you're not going to be ticking to Frostlass too much because you don't play too many Pokemon with abilities. So, not the worst pick in the world if you know what you're doing. Okay. I'm not sold yet, chat. I'm not sold on Rocket's Mewtwo. I'm really not. I'm really not. It feels so weird to, like, put it so low. But I'm not sold on it yet. It's so weird. I think Spinops is great, right? But I feel like because Mewtwo is really limited by how many Pokemon you have on your bench that have the word, like, Team Rocket in the name, it's so hard to get, like, properly set up. And I honestly appreciate, like, the power creep of or like the power level of it, right? Like, you have to have Team Rocket's Pokemon in play in order to do what you really want to do. I think that's great. I'm not sold just yet. Like, it does stuff right, but I don't think it does enough just yet. I don't think it's super broken. I think we need more time with it. I would love to be proven wrong, though. High key. I would love to be proven wrong by somebody who, like, takes this deck all the way and figures out, like, the real sauce with it, right? But that, yeah, not perfect just yet. I'm not a believer, but regardless. Final deck. This is so hard to say. I'm gonna put it in C. I'm gonna put Frostlass Monkey in C, only because I think if you are already playing Frostlass Monkey Dory, just add the Grim. Like, just add the Grimmsnarl in there. It's like, it's a good deck, right? Obviously, but like, this is level 1. We got level 2 already here. What's the point of playing Grim without the what's the point of playing Frostlass Monkey without the Grimmsnarl, right? It's a powerful enough engine on its own, so if you don't get, like, Spike Myth Gym, or you're, like, 2 copies of Buddy Buddy Poffin, or you're, like, 1 copy of Nest Ball, because apparently we're not playing too many consistency cards or something. Like, we can always rely on the Frostlass Monkey Dory engine, but, like I said, it's right there. You know what I mean? It's right in S tier. You definitely want to be playing it. But I think I'm happy with this list. I'm going to do that right at the end. I think Raging Bolt is at the top of the A tier. I think Raging Bolt has a great matchup into Grim, but a terrible matchup into Gardevoir, and that's why it has to sit in the A tier. But honestly, I'm kind of happy with this list. The B tier is just for the believers. The B is for believer tier. I've said that on a couple of other, like, YouTube videos I've been on. The One Last Ride tier in particular, right before rotation. The B is for the believers. If you believe in this deck, play it. You know what I mean? But honestly, I think there's a ton of viable decks going into NAIC, and I cannot stress to you enough that if you are comfortable on your deck of choice, don't let anybody convince you otherwise. Be comfortable. Play how you want to play. Please, please, please be smart. Watch your pace of play, please. And don't let anybody tell you to scoop. Don't do it. They don't need those points that bad, okay? Don't let anybody pressure you into scooping. It is against the rules. I've seen a couple of Twitter comments about that going around. Don't. So, anyway, I think I'm happy with this for once in my life. Yeah. Raging Bolt would be S tier, but it struggles here. That's why. All in all, once again, I can't wait for next week. I'm totally going to be playing Raging Bolt, and I've posted my list online if anybody wants to just, like, straight up net deck me, but the only sauce I have is Turo. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, content's coming back in the summer, so if you guys liked this, don't worry, there is plenty more. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys liked what you heard, or if you guys have any of your own opinions, maybe Rocket's Mewtwo is actually the best deck in format because, because, and you want to prove me wrong, go ahead, write it in the comments. I'll be watching all of them. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe. And thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.